What kind of qualities a master who sews an Azerbaijani headdress Papach should have? Why did our grandmothers wear silver rings and bracelets when netting a dough? We will talk about all this in this episode of the program Art of Making. The ethnic headgear of each nation has its own features. In Azerbaijan, it's called Papach or Papakha. It's made of sheepskin. The best papakhas are those made of lambskin, which should be well processed. Papakha usually has the shape of a cylinder. Craftsman Saadi Halayev has been engaged in this craft for many years and will tell us about the subtle details of the process.
Papakha əsasən Özbəkistandan gətirdiyim, şəxsən özüm gətirirəm.
I make papakha mostly of lambskin. I bring them from Uzbekistan. There are 4 types of lambskin. The first is the antique skin. The second is golden sur. The third is silver skin. The fourth is a karakul, although other types are often called karakul too. Mostly I make papakha by order. We choose a type of papakha together with the client. First of all, we choose the lambskin, and then I start to work on it.
Ən çox bu son dövrlərdə bu antik dəriyə üstünlük verirlər. Bunu həm hərbiçilər.
Recently, papakhas made from the antique skin were the most popular for order. They are preferred by the military people, mostly by the border officers. And defense ministry employees usually choose brown lambskin. The biggest demand is for silver lambskin. Especially young people like them very much.
Həm hərbi şəxslər, həm də ki belə cavan adamlar da, yəni ki, cavan adamların da həvəsi çoxdur gümüşü antik dəriyə.
This is the underside of the papakha. The other part is the stand. We measure its length and width. Here the diameter of the circle is 64 centimeters.
Bu ölçüyə uyğun gəlməlidir.
Height 13 centimeters. The same measurements are used on the lambskin itself. There are no exact standards for the height of the papakha. This ready-made papakha's height is 10 centimeters. There are people who want 11 centimeters or, for example, 9.5 centimeters. It's up to the request. The man who ordered this papakha wants it to be 10 centimeters high.
Elə adam var, deyir ki, məndə 9,5 olsun. Hər kəsin zövqünə uyğun olaraq tikirəm. Pis dəriləri qabağıma qoyanda belə zəif dəriləri də
In Azerbaijan today, papakhas can be worn by elderly people every day. Young people order them for special occasions, weddings or holidays. The craftsman says that 20 years ago his craft was in decline. Now it's in an active revival.
Hər bir işi dəqiq yerinə yetirməlidir. Yəni
we cut the lambskin to the size of the stand. Then I join the ends and stitch them. In this case, the main thing is to cut and stitch all the materials carefully. Otherwise, papakha won't be steady, and it should look pulled up. Because papakha is the main element of national clothing. It's a symbol of courage and dignity. It can look messed up. This will cause disrespect to its owner. Such a papakha can be sewn in one day. There are also more complicated ones, with ear flaps or piping. I spend 2 days on them. Most orders come in October and November.
Papaqçıda ilk növbədə yüksək səviyyədə səbir və diqqət.
To become a real craftsman, you need to have patience. It's a basic aspect. Attentiveness is also a must. There should be internal harmony. There's a lot of details, so patience is the main and the first thing. If you do everything in a hurry, you can make a mistake. The result is a defective product. It's a good thing that I have it all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this. Wearing a papakha is half the battle. It needs special care to extend its life. After all, papakha is made of natural material, so we need to make sure the product doesn't deteriorate. Papakha needs special care. It's made of wool, so in the summer when it's not worn, the moth can eat it, or it might be damaged under the influence of damp. In summer, you have to store it in a box, not in a plastic bag, as it often happens. And it is desirable to put mothballs nearby to protect against the moth. Every 15 days, you have to shake it. Only then it will be kept in a good condition. Therefore, we give the instruction to the client before he gets the product.
Sonra koyun yerine hiç ne olmayacak o papağa. Çöl dairesi 64 ölçüde bize.
As you can see, I sewed and connected the ends. We got a required size of 64 centimeters. Now we turn it out and put it on the stand. Here, the most prominent parts of the edges of the skin must be on top. Wool direction is from left to right. At the next stage, I will sew fur to the stand. The whole sewing process is done manually. That's why I say you need patience. Some note that a fur has a specific smell. I'm used to it already, but there is another smell of a substance which is used to manufacture the lambskin.
60 manattan başlayır, 60 renkte qara.
Prices vary depending on the type of fur. Black Papakha costs $40. Brown is $60, silver is $120. And this so-called antique skin Papakha I'm sewing right now cost $120.
200-250 manatdır.
Qələmi sur dəri deyirlər. Bu dərinin 200 manat qiyməti var.
This fur is called golden sur. It's valued for the folds and it has beautiful golden shade. Density of the fur is also good. Even if you wear it for 15 years, it will remain in its original form. Other fur is not so dense. That's why they can serve maximum for 5 years.
Hər bir kəs gəlir, ağsaqqal, yaşlı kişilər.
Aksakals visit me and they're very demanding. They see errors, even inaccuracies in the size of the papaha at first sight. It's the most responsible job. If you don't think about everything in advance, the customer won't like it and you'll have to do it again.
Bu olmasa da dəqiq işləyəm, dəqiq yerinə yetirəm. Növbəti proses gedir, bunun papağın.
Then we prepare the cap. I cut off the lambskin in advance. First, I'm sewing the back side. Then I connect it with the fur. Then I put it in a head block.
Bütün işlər düzgün yerinə yetirilməlidir.
And proportionally expand papaha from the inside. After that, we stitch on the cap to the fur.
Papağın astarını özünə birləşdirməkdir. Bunun qabaq hissəni dəqiqləşdirir.
And we put it on the head block again. Now papaha is ready.
Birləşdirəndə bu papaq tam hazır olur. Birləşdirib qəlibə.
We have seen how the national Azerbaijani papaha is made. It takes many years to learn it. Craftsman Saadi wants to pass on to the younger generation. He has 5 students. He hopes that Papakha sewing traditions will remain for many more years, and the Papakha will forever remain a symbol of honor and dignity. Decoration of any Kazakh table is baursak. Today we will tell you about how a traditional treat is cooked. Palayim will help us with it. She says that a secret of delicious and fluffy baursaks is in a properly cooked yeast dough. Therefore, it's important to adhere to the technology of its cooking. Pour some water, salt, add yeast, and mix it. As soon as the pre-dough rises, we add flour. This is how we make a dough for baursak. Nowadays, many also use mayonnaise to make baursaks softer. You can both add cream and drinking yogurt. If the dough is only made of water, then baursaks will not be fluffy. It will rather become hard. Some people like to add sugar. There are also those who do not use it. I don't use sugar. Palayim believes that while kneading the dough, it's good to put on a silver ring on the finger. Useful properties of this metal are also passed to the baursak. She also shared her other helpful tips. For example, If you close the windows in the room where you put the dough, it will not veil and will puff up well. In general, after kneading the dough, it should stand for 2–2.5 hours. It cannot be kept for too long, otherwise it will become sour and unpleasant for taste. After the dough puffs up, it needs to be knit again. Then the bağırsaks will be fluffy and beautiful. When the dough puffs up again, you can start frying the bağırsaks. When fried in hot oil, the dough increases in size. Therefore, the diameter of bağırsak should not exceed 1.5–2 centimeters. Now we roll the dough into a circle. We wait a little and cut into this kind of pieces. Every woman cuts it in a comfortable way. Someone makes them big, someone makes them small. In each region of Kazakhstan, bağırsaks are prepared differently. We're people of the south and we prepare thin bağırsaks, round or long in the form of rhombus. In the old times, bağırsaks were fried in animal fat, and now we use vegetable oil, says Palayim. My mother taught me how to cook bağırsak. I was watching her making it since my childhood. In the heated on-fire wok, we pour vegetable oil and start frying pieces of dough. At the same time, it's better to avoid overheating of the oil. Sometimes oil overheats and bağırsaks are quickly fried, and the structure of the dough becomes dense. And if the dough was stored for a while and fried moderately, then bağırsaks will look good. We put fried bağırsaks on the napkin. To remove excess oil, we must put bağırsaks on the napkin. This bakery has several varieties. Joly bağırsak, it's taken to the trip, parmak bağırsak, fingers bağırsak, tush bağırsak, and tea bağırsak. Apart from Kazakhs, traditionally bağırsaks are prepared by Kyrgyz, Mongols, Tajiks, Uzbeks, Tatars, and Bashkirs. Bağırsak is an integral part of Astrakhan from the beginning of times until present day. Easy to cook, fried in wok, they are loved by everyone, says the mother of a large family, Palayim. Me and my daughters-in-law will cook hot bağırsaks, and we drink tea and eat bağırsaks together with my grandchildren. I'm a mother heroine. I have a silver medal. From 4 sons and 2 daughters, I have 23 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren. We're expecting the 5th soon. They often come to me and ask, "Grandma, please cook us more bağırsak," and I cook them with pleasure. A well-known world company took a poll of consumers about their desire to learn the details of the work of production enterprises. It turned out that many respondents would like to get to the confectionery factory and see how their favorite sweets are made. And we decided to find it out too, so our journey today will be filled with the flavor of vanilla, spices, cocoa, and chocolate, because we will introduce you to the technology of making cookies. The longest extended storage period of our cookies is 8 months. They are very similar to homemade cookies, crispy and very similar to bağırsak. İlyas Birlisugurov, technology engineer. He knows a lot of types of cookies. He, along with his colleagues, invent recipes, composition, and form of confectionery. First, experimental versions of sweet products are created in the laboratory. And if the product meets all the requirements, it goes through the tasting successfully, then it is produced in mass production. In the factory, technology engineers are called wizards or perfumers. Sometimes by passing out the cookies, inhaling their smell, we can define their type. One of the common type of cookie among consumers is a cracker. The fish-shaped product became a brand of the factory. A salted, aromatic, crispy cookie is loved by both adults and children. For its production, we use only good quality products. This is our warehouse. Here we store one of the main raw materials, sugar. On average, about 15% of sugar is used in the product. Relative humidity in the warehouse should be 75%. If the indicator is higher, sugar can be clogged. And if water gets into it, then the sugar can crystallize and solidify. We won't be able to turn such sugar into powder. It won't pass through a sieve machine. Then we will have to use it for syrup. Therefore, the storage level of the product is very important. This factory uses only Kazakhstani raw materials. The main raw material for making cookies is flour. The quality of the flour directly affects the quality of the finished product. When we were studying, we were told by the teachers, it's possible to cook bad products from good raw materials, but we can make good products out of bad raw materials. When we take flour, we do a few tests. We don't use it without test. There is enough of flour in Kazakhstan. There are many mills. Therefore, we choose good quality flour for us. We sieve it, and only after that we prepare our cookies. Each type of cookie has its own procedure sheet. According to this procedure sheet, the flour passes through the screening and dosing unit. Then other ingredients are added there, and the whole mass is fed to the kneading machine. The whole process is fully automated, and modern production plants make it easier for the employees. In the next step, the dough is divided in two parts that are fed to the forming line. Capacity of one production line is 200 tons per month. The famous British literary critic Dr. Samuel Johnson, in his dictionary published in 1755, gave a definition to the cookie. It's a kind of a dry, hard bread made to take to the sea. Apparently, this claim was based on the tradition of the sailors to take this type of confectionery product to the sea, as they can be stored for quite a long time. But as the experts say, cookies are valuable not due to this reason. Cookies contain carbohydrates and proteins that are necessary for human organism. There are fats that are consumed by human on a daily basis. These are basic energy materials.
Күш-қуат беретін негізгі материалдар.
The next stage of the production consists of baking and cooling. After that, weighing and automated packaging of the finished product take place. The feature of confectionery production is that it is closely related to science. A huge laboratory complex guarantees the quality of the product. For example, raw materials and all other materials used in the manufacturing of confectionery products are first researched in this laboratory. Then midpoint assessment is carried out at different stages of production. Ready-made cookies can go into the market unless they get specialists' approval. Hygiene requirements for the factory employees are quite strict, but the desire to work in the good mood of each employee are also important.
Қанша жерден автоматтандырылған құрылғымен біздің цехта жұмыс істейік десек те,
Even though we work in automated workshops, our cookies are directly related to the mood of our employees.
қамырды илеу,
Dough netting, shaping, baking, cookie taste are completely related to workers.
қаншалықты автоматтандырылған болса да, жұмыскерлеріне тікелей байланысты болады.
Scientists say that cookies have a positive effect on mood. First of all, in the composition of the street, there is a serotonin, a so-called hormone of happiness. And second, it reminds us of the happy moments of our childhood.